series here of Masters Shanghai. I'm Achilles. This is Paper Thin, and we will be guiding you through this first series. T1 versus G2. Saya versus that old core. Let's see who comes out on top as we open things up with this pistol round.
Yeah, this has been the side of the map where T1 has been really explosive the two times they've played it. T1 is 2-0. They've beaten Gen G and DRX on this map so far this year. 8-4 on both of their attacker side. So definitely want to come out strong, want to make a statement here against G2. You got Rossi creeping up the mid door. It's been read pretty well by Icy. No damage done just yet.
Also creeping forward, missing the timing there as Icy gets himself in behind Yellow, but manages to strike. Jonah gonna be taken down, but Icy quick to respond. Both Vipers now out of the equation. See how they fare as recon darts gonna be exchanged on either side, but side player with another headshot puts Icy down. And Yoru, that duel is now taken out of the equation here for the side of G2. Good answering fire, the fine Saya player. Carpe now gonna be eliminated as well. As it's just Excurate. The new IGL here for the side of T1, pulls back. Catches a decent timing there, drifting away. Pink's coming down, trying to suss out where exactly he is. He's swinging around the backside here up Pyramid, looking for the catch. Manages to find the headshot. Wall now going to be going across. Tap onto the spike, retap coming through. He closes the distance, the gap a little bit more here in the center, but as Valen swings out, he will be able to take him down. Time is there, the pistol will be G2's.
Yeah, and who else but Valen to come through and win that 1v1 for G2. He has been phenomenal for them so far this year. On this map in particular, does a great job, not just with his shooting, but setting up his teammates with that Astra utility. I particularly watch some of the A-main, aggressive A-main plays with Icy, but we know how good Valen is in situations like this. He's been so good all year. Top fragger for this team, and just showing you why right there. Cool as a cucumber, and now only a little bit of investment for T1. A Marshall Saya player loves to grab that, even in the eco rounds. Sheriff's going to be for Excurate and Izu, it looks like. Outlaw going to be in play for Icy, some Bulldogs and a Guardian. Let's see what T1 can do, if anything, on this round.
Looking to push forward. Smoke going to be coming through. There's a little recon. Getting the tag there onto Izu, who looks to make his exit. Does manage to avoid some of those shots, but a lot of them connecting over onto Carpe, so he's going to be whittled down now to 30 health. Not the most comfortable position to be in. As Trent just going to be sending out the drone here through those double doors, peeking in towards mid, but nothing spotted. Sai, in the meantime, has gotten himself on a fairly deep line, working his way all the way up hall.
This is something that he loves to do. He loves to get aggressive down this hall with this Marshall. Try to get crossfires, try to win picks. Has the dash popped.
Dash popped, and Trent just waiting behind. Just pushes right into his crosshair. Trent, an easy opening kill found. They're just slow creeping their way up now. Here onto the side, looking for the clear route, but gun going to be spotted. Isu going to be taken down. Excurate still staying stuck here. Trying to see if he can come up with a surprising kill, and what is that? The back-to-back comes up with two quick eliminations, grabs the gun, but that shock dart is absolutely devastating. Second one lobbed in, that one not finding damage, but look at the HP bars here for the side of T1. 30 on Carpe, 25 on Rossi, and 46 on Excurate. Just about any damage from any of these guns will be able to take them down. Spike still not yet planted. Wall coming up to try to buy them a little bit of extra space. Excurate wanting to try to get that gun. Grabs the Bulldog. Manages to transfer yet again. Now on for the ace. He's got Rossi there as backup. The Outlaw in hand. Can he find it? He does! Absolutely astounding as Excurate gets himself an ace in the second round of action.
Triumphant return to Shanghai for Excurate. This is where he made his start in esports with Tai Lu back in the day, and he has lit Shanghai on fire. Unbelievable.
And what a reply. In the eco, still, yeah, spending a little bit of cash, having those shares, having that Marshall. Marshall doesn't get anything done, but Excurate, he just takes it into his own hands, and yeah, he's already back on his feet. Crowd saying, welcome home.
What a start. Unbelievable. I mean, that's got to feel great for him. This crowd has been electric, and they are definitely in his corner for sure. Now the buy.
Ooh, easy. I think, yeah, not quite spotting it there on that jiggle. The punish cannot be there. Sai unable to counter swing in time. Good opening kill found here from the side of G2.
Look at this. Excurate's got that reckoning here. So both of these teams actually pretty quick to get plants down. They like to be fairly aggressive in nature on their attacker side, but for now, T1 spreading the map, trying to work through mid. There is a big stack here in elbow of G2 players.
Triple stack in elbow. As Valorant is going to be waiting and see if they cross up, move their way over towards Nestor Tunnel, but instead, T1 are making the correct decision here as they work their way over. This site that has a lot less people occupying it. Wall going to be coming up as Valorant is able to find one. Rossi getting taken down, but Trent picked off. Extra going to try to hold things over there in mid. Is Jonah just going to be tucked away? Gets a headshot. And now it's all on Saya player. This might just be back-to-back eco rounds coming through.
Unreal. I mean, Saya was nuts on this map the last time they played it against Gen G, but he's going to have to come up huge here. Sheriffs abound for G2.
Time dwindling. They hear him. They're starting to encroach. He's not sure if he's repositioned. Spots the Viper, but is going to have to stick this sooner or later. Gets that quick little headshot, but now he's got to get this one down on the ground. Now he tries the challenge. He tries to go the way of the fight, but he cannot find it. Leaf with 3 as G2 will get themselves a MasterCard thrifty to just go ahead and swing themselves right back into the lead.
Unbelievable. I love this from G2. They're reading the map really well. They're reading the tendencies of T1 so efficiently. They're stacking in the places that T1 likes to maneuver early in the round. T1 really likes to take advantage of some of the open space in mid, in hall, things like that. And so far, G2 has been very, very aware of it. If it wasn't for that Excurate hero ace, this would be firmly in G2's control, it feels like. So let's see what T1 can do. Let's see if they can change things up, but they're back on quite a bit of an eco themselves. Still have that Reckoning to work with, but now you've got a couple ults. You've got the Cosmic Divide, you've got the Neural Theft Relief.
Coming through as Icy just goes storming his way into shop. Mows down 2 very swiftly. Saya able to find 1, but Jonah will go ahead and collect the other 3. A very fast shutdown on that push here from G2, reading the map well. They work their way forward. 1 pop flash, 5 bodies on the floor.
Yeah, and this is something that G2 really likes to do here on this map is get aggressive into A main. Whether it be Valen, whether it be Icy, they can have a lot of different setups. That time even Jonah P getting involved with some of that Viper utility. Things like that are what make them really dangerous on their on this map. They're really confident to push out to you, contest that orb, put some pressure down. Now let's see everything squared up economically. Finally, T1 can get some damage done. Here we go, Dimensional Drift in.
1 orb away here is Carpet for that Hunter's Fury. Does he scoop it up? Looks like so far, no. Doesn't have that to try to couple in with this, so for now it is just going to be a straight up scouting mission. 2 players going to be spotted here. The back yellow. Exits the portal, hit onto the door, tries to go for the flash. He actually eats that, as well as a bullet from Leaf. Izu taken down. A rough go of it here. Neural Theft now going to be invested. Saya at risk, has to try to reposition. As that is going to be Harbor ult coming through now to try to slow up the approach. Jonah, that timing, swinging on that corner. Immediately, Valen clean with a headshot. Carpet gets taken down. Rossi trying to hold. He's only good for 1. And now it is all on Excurate. Once again, this time a 1v3. Time ticking on his side. Can he nail the shots? Can he shut them down? He's spotted a pixel out of place. Catches 1, but Icy will be able to get him in the head. Kills coming through. It'll be close here on the defuse, but they still pass it over to Leaf to make sure he can try to get that next Neural Theft. And they will go ahead and now move up 4-1.
And you're seeing one of the things that's been the calling cards of G2 so far this year is their teamwork. Their ability to swing at the right time in the right positions. You know, getting that Neural Theft there, getting the information, able to make this just a little bit easier for themselves. Around the corner, they know he's right there. They're able to get right on top of Saya after that second ping of the theft. And even with that Harbor ult there, they're going to swing right past it. And immediately,
you don't want to be seeing that more, downtrending Izu performance coming into Master Shanghai because of how important these wins all are. If you can get those 2 here in Swiss, you're sitting pretty. But having that 1 loss, having only 1 more series, that blanket, it's not good. But now Knives out. Rush forward, Icy going to be taken down, but Saya player traded out. 1-for-1 in that exchange. Is Izu just going to be caught trying to take some presence up here in mid. Trent over at Nest manages to strike him down. So now the man advantage here for the side of G2.
It looks like G2 just falling back, gonna give up a little bit of space. Try to cut off any rotates if they can see them with that Viper's Pit down in the front of A main. Posted up at the beginning of the round. They have a pretty good idea. This is gonna be B. They haven't felt any pressure through mid or anything like that. Damage gonna be done. Carpe, good for 1.
Good a readjustment. Knows where Trent was at, but we'll see how he survives this. 15 HP. Carpe in a very committed position at the moment here. And Hunter's Fury would like to have that potentially for the post plant, but also you do have Jonah swooping his way around towards Beach, working his way up. Have a nice long sideline there in window, but now Execute going to be taken down. Rossi, last one standing. A little bit whiffy there on the opening shot. Unable to find the instant punish, and now it's taken down to 1 HP. They're just sending everything at him, running their way forward. They know that he's low. They know that he's just basically dead to rights. And that will be G2, not allowing for T1 to get a victory after the timeout. They'll continue on their merry way, now up by 4 rounds.
Yeah, and off the rip of this round, one of those trap plays from Valorant and company that I love to see with the Astra, to try to use something like the Nebula to get in there, do some damage. Valorant gonna hold back here. Again, I love the patience that we're seeing from G2. Give them a little bit of space and hit them as they try to get settled in for these post plants. Very nicely done. You know, Saya only gets 1 with that Blade Storm. You're keeping him checked. That's going to be a huge part of this. But now Saya is going to be able to invest into that operator. This is one of the things that a lot of teams in Pacific talk to me about this T1 squad, is they are an op squad. If you can shut them down in that op-v-op battle, with Icy having it for the side of G2, that's where they really can struggle. And that's been part of the reason that consistency has been a problem for T1. Eventually, teams started to kind of be able to isolate and knock down the operator players, whether it be Saya or Excurate.
Much slower here from T1. The pacey plays haven't been working out for them with an operator in the mix as well. Slowly inch forward, trying to get map control where possible. Trent spotting onto Izu there, but Dart not able to connect. Icy says, all right, just gonna go ahead, put the mask on, go sprinting forward with the dimensional drift. I mean, he's just seeing so many players at the moment, but he's not playing close enough for them to get the sense that he's actually here on top of him now. Hunter's Fury opened up, Excurate taken down. Final shot, able to get the tag as well, and there's the finisher. Side player will fall. Leaf coming up with that kill. Izu finally able to find a kill here. Knows that that's going to be the fake out. Pushing towards him, the dink in. Now can he get the third? Sprays across, last bullet to find the headshot. Izu starting to come alive. Comes up with 3, and now Jonah going to be noted here. Izu does go for the challenge, does end up losing his life, but the impact there in that round absolutely felt. T1, they'll now get themselves a 2nd round win.
Yeah, that's a huge win for T1, especially with both ults invested, with the op coming into play as well. That's a massive economic loss for G2. I love this play, though. The dimensional drift. Wait for them to get into the tube and then send the Hunter's Fury down through that choke point. That's a brilliant setup from G2. It's just finally Izu able to get some damage done with this Yoru. Push base towards Arches. A little bit of encouragement there from the IGL of T1. Excurate gonna maybe push in a little bit further.
Well,
as is as well.
It was a slow round. Now there's no more op, so let's go for a pacey hit. Dimensional drift here from Izu. Hunter's Fury still available here from Carpe. Staying sat back in shop, but no one being spotted. Everyone now widely drifting their way, getting ready to rotate across through spawn. Carpe maybe sussing this out. It's going to start hearing some of these footsteps, but can he hold the line? Catches the first one. The swing in from Jonah, shut down. Carpe still suspecting a 3rd and final player. Now sees the shoulder. Valen held at bay as Carpe stops them from pulling off this flank. Trent now creeping his way up through double door. Rossi catching a glimpse. Trent, however, catching a headshot there onto Excurate. Does manage to find 1. A 2v4. It's still very much stacked against him. They'll double faces. Carpe now looking to maybe give us a 2nd ace. Icy going to start drifting away as the audience starts chanting for it, but it doesn't seem like Icy's going to really try to give him the opportunity. But they want this gun out of his hands, and they will take it from him. Saya player to find the final one there. It's T1 clawing their way back a bit. Gap now cut in half.
Yeah, this is good awareness here from T1. G2's really been spreading the map, but we haven't seen a lurk like this quite yet, especially a 3-man lurk. G2 loves their lurks, though. That's something you absolutely have to be aware of. So credit to T1 that so far that card hadn't been shown from G2 thus yet, but they were very ready for it. And Carpe, fantastic with his aim. You know, he's been talking about it in some of his press interviews that even though he's not the IGL anymore, it's kind of a win-win for this team. You know, Excurate used to be an IGL in his days back with Ty Lue, and now it's opened him up to be a bit more of a fragger, a bit more focused on his aim as they're looking for an entry into the A side. Oh no.
Oh, Icy catching the fake there as Jonah will be flushed out. Izu able to get in on top of that Viper. It takes him down. Mystery across, otherwise not finding any other connections. With the walls raised, you can tell G2 no idea of what's really happening here in the side. Flash coming in, side player taking space. With that ping reveal, notes him, and that should about try to send them packing. Valen now last one alive. Leaf cut down as he tries to exit. Valen, does he try challenge here. I mean, cash aplenty on the side of T1. Looks like he will just try to rotate out, and he can't quite reset that spray. Izu, another 3K for him, and another round win. T1 now, there's one round separating them here from G2.
Yeah, it's a beautiful execute here from T1. You know, they are able to get past the player that's hiding in the corner. Carpe gets the spot. Got the TP in behind the toxic screen with the Hunter's Fury to set this up as well. Some good flashes, some good util from Carpe to allow Izu and Saya player to really push space. And that's something that this T1 squad needs to be doing with this double duelist setup. They need to be getting into the back lines of G2 and causing chaos.
Again, Izu just going to be gathering up these orbs. TP's back across the opposite side. Saya, once again, trying to take some space here, working his way forward. Trent on the opposite side, lingering just at the bridge. But he has that Sheriff. We've already seen, very much so, how much damage these Sheriffs can get. But Trent now starting to push his way forward. Saya, right up here alongside him, has the dash at the ready, decides the challenge. And that is going to be a weapon donated over to Trent. We'll pass that over to somebody who's a bit healthier here on the team. Or just hold it for himself. We'll see what happens though. But for now, T1 getting ready to attack over here onto this B side. Valen playing close, not going to be caught by that, but Xcurt reads the position beautifully, just sprays through the smoke. Managed to find that one, but Leaf with another headshot. Does shut down Izu. So kills still being found, but Rossi able to go ahead and displace the site for now. Rest of that util not having to be respected whatsoever as Trent has gotten himself over to half wall. Try to see if he can deal some damage. Still does have that Vandal in hand. Everybody is just going to be getting tucked back over here.
Excellent awareness from Xcurt to at least get this into an even situation, and they're just gone!
Everybody let's just go around the back side, let's just double face, and let's just kill them all!
Unbelievable. I thought that might take a little bit longer, but goodness gracious. I mean, I love what I'm seeing from Xcurt here. I'm not so sure about this challenge from Saya, but you know what, okay, so be it. We're able to get there, get the plant down, get the win. You know, you gotta take those moments as a duelist. You gotta have that confidence to be able to go in there and try to make those plays, especially against the Sheriff. You don't win at that time, so what? As a coach, you shouldn't be hurt by that. You shouldn't be mad at your players because tucked cubby positions that G2 is taking, things like that are gonna be so key right now for T1. If they're gonna come through here positive in the scoreline, again, attacker side really is where T1 typically does their damage on this match. Valen thinking about contesting, but that cascade will allow them. There's no ambiguity about this.
No, there is not. They're just making all the noise in the world. Just looking to rush them down. He tucks into the corner though. The flash expiring. Izu with a very nice little 180. Does manage to turn around and stop that from suffering even more losses, but now Leaf here alongside the wall. Guns down 2, sends in the ult. Rossi trying to take space here on that B site. Does note Leaf over in Nest. Now 2v3 to try to close this out. Just get themselves situated. The plant now able to come in. Shock Dart just to go ahead and clear the camera. He knows it's somewhere over there. I don't have time to try to fish for it with my bullets.
In that general vicinity.
Drone now over the top. See if you can spot anybody playing close, but G2 hanging back far enough that they don't give anything over to Carpe. Still does have the recon, but so too does Trent, as well as double shock darts to try to clear some angles. Fight comes down. He tries to play this out quietly. Rossi just shoots through, managing to find that, but Trent with a little bit of a fadeaway shot comes up with that one. Carpe swinging out a bit too early, didn't have the gun ready, and he does eventually fall. The timeout for G2 works a treat, as they will get themselves now up to 6.
Yeah, and this time G2's like, okay, we're going to set up not just one trap in a ratty position, we're going to do 2. Good luck guessing that we're going to do that twice in a row. Leaf with just a brilliant position, playing the anti-flash nicely, and then gets that neural theft. Makes it a lot more comfortable here on this retake, able to come from a couple different angles. And Rossi with a good prediction there, has a snake bite, hits the headshot, reads the timing of G2 very nicely. It's just they get the info off the back of the Sova utility, and then they can just swarm in, take care of Carpe. Well, nicely done. Izu does have that dimensional drift.
Expecting to see, you know, a take on the orb here. Xcurt just one away from having that Reckoning ready to go. If Silver will go ahead and grab that, but does he just send it off the rip? Hunter's Fury to try to open things here as Trent sat back at Pyramids looking for the kill, and now that Reckoning, it doesn't matter! Xcurt dead! Carpe out of there! Is Izu just scouting and having to wonder How do I get myself out of this situation? Rossi now dead, tries to go for the shorty play, but Trent shuts that down. 3K from him, and Saya now all on his lonesome, needing a 1v5 ace clutch to bring us back to parity between these two teams at the half. But right now, it looks like G2, they have secured themselves that lead. Dart does connect, Saya whittle away at, there's a push forward, a 4K here for Trent, a flawless round to end the half for G2.
You gotta love what you saw from both these teams. Great adjustments on both sides throughout that half.
Absolutely fantastic action here from G2. Good restabilization, but still one time out of piece between both of these squads. We're gonna go ahead and send this over to the analyst desk so they'll break down the action for the first half.
One enemy remaining.
Does shake out some signs of life there from T1, but a decent little rally back at the end from G2 to make sure that they weren't going to be at a disadvantage, make sure they're not going to be tied up. So now that they've secured themselves a lead, let's see how they fare moving over onto the attack side. Rossi already spotted there on that shoulder peak. Just for now, slow going, just unable to push forward there because of the pipe, but Izu getting the shutdown onto Icy as he tries to entry. Now the flash coming through, but it's a little bit overcooked. Does get taken down, deals some decent damage here. The rest of T1 start getting corralled over towards this B site, looking to have them surrounded.
Maybe just a little overambitious from Izu, but here we go. Rossi trying to lock down the back of the pillar.
Leaf ready to push up, but Rossi misjudging his position, and he gets taken down. Leaf able to find two. Valorant looking for that transfer over onto Carpe, unable to find that kill, but now Carpe all on his lonesome and tagged down to 33. Plant just now starting to come through, but all the util has been used. Sent out the shock dart earlier on. Recon does get the ping. Clears it, looks to reposition. They're looking to double phase. As there's the jump peek. First one taking him down. Gets the reveal out onto Leaf as well. Basically needs the headshot. Leaf not quite giving it to him. Cuts across, gets himself behind the pillar, and just looks to buy some time. Carpe needing to make a move here. Leaf starting to rotate, and he's good for it. Another 3K from Leaf. Feels like maybe the fourth one he's had so far of this map. To go ahead and get G2 the pistol round win.
Yeah, I mean, Valen as the IGL is that fragging IGL, but Leaf, the former duelist for C9, has been an absolute just beautiful pickup for this team because he's been so good on Sentinels. He's so sturdy on the defender side. He's got great instincts. He can take contact so well because of that duelist nature that's built into him. And of course, in situations like this, Valen was good for it last time. This time it's Leaf. Carpe wanted it. Of course, just couldn't quite get there. And once again, a pistol going G2's way. Maybe trying to grab an early kill and to get the spot in the finish.
Just another one right through the cyber cage. Unbelievable. As well, Exert taken down. Leaf just taking a lot of forward space. And he's going to take another life as Carpe will also fall. It's one of the sheriffs now taken out of the equation as Rossi will finally be able to put him down. Bring that reign of terror to an end, but he does eat quite a bit of damage. And now we have G2 working their way across over towards B. Side player with a good sense of this, gets himself in position for maybe a punish, but instead we'll just hear those footsteps, I do believe. Been just right on the edge of that audio range, but that leaves now all of the work to be done on Izu's shoulders. Flash timing is looking great, and he goes ahead and shoots, gives away his position. Now they start looking for the push, and they will very swiftly be able to flush him out. Saya working his way forward, is not ready for Valen to be lingering here in main. The plant coming through, Rossi, just to see if he can try to deal any additional damage here. Get any charge towards that pit. G2 are looking very well poised to just go ahead and move up 9-5.
Yeah, I mean, the teamwork is so good from G2 so far today. They're really trading off of each other well. They're playing their positions perfectly. The util combos are looking great there. The flash into the recon to make sure they get the spot onto the player on site here on B. These are the things that when G2 is really clicking together, when they're really in sync, makes them such a scary team. And it should be just Rossi going down to the spike at this point, but already getting very dire for T1. Again, the attacker side, usually where they do so much of their damage. They've only played this map twice so far in stage one. One time they started on the defender side. They were 5-7. That was against DRX and against Gen G. They went 5-3 on their defender side and end of the map to qualify for this event, in fact. But it's been a little bit shakier, whereas, you know, G2 is pretty even-keeled on this map. They're pretty much about even when it comes to both sides of the map. So losing that pistol is really brutal, and the eco as well this time since T1 couldn't clap back.
Look at this. I mean, the Outlaw coming through from Leaf. He knows that most of them are going to be on half armors. They just don't have the cash to try to buy up because of the Sheriff investment, so he is looking to take full advantage of that. T1, though, double push out from the duelist, and there it is!
Huge.
Chekhov's gun, it does strike. Carpe dead, another kill found. Saya trying to swing out as the reveal comes through off that neural theft. It's going to be good for one, but now in a 2v4, the remaining members of T1 might just have to make the call to save, but Drone rushing forward, looking here for Excurate. Just sat back orange, hoping to see if he could try to make something happen. Creeps up, nothing spotted here. But now the Nebula there to go ahead and just cut off vision as Trent makes his exit back over into shop. 3 players that he would have to try to mow down. The join in coming through as Rossi makes his way over, but Excurate already going to be spotted. Dead. Leaf. Well, he knows exactly where the Viper is as well. Rossi suspicious about this position. See if he can actually get away with his life, retain this weapon, or if Leaf will take it from him. And yeah, it's going to be the latter. He's been so damn clean with it this whole match so far. It's now 10-5. Bonus is converted.
Unbelievable. They're so clean right now. Like you said, the Outlaw paying dividends out the rip. He loves this gun. He uses it all the time over in Americas. They're just catching players with that neural theft, that early kill stack that Leaf was able to get. Gets him into that neural theft early. Even Josh can't believe it. He's
just
the coach. But so far, frankly, in stage 1 Achilleos, they've been kind of shaky. They've been kind of up and down. Consistency has been the biggest critique of this team so far.
Still, investment coming through. Guardian in the hands of Saya player. It's not like he's very close to having that Bladestorm online either. This could certainly hurt quite a bit as swing out, Izu trying to find that shot, and then the counter swing in from Icy. Just managed to find that kill, but Valen down to 3 HP, still decent damage dealt there from Izu. Spots at least 2 players over towards this B side of the map as well, so some information to try to play around with. And it looks like widely they make the call to start pivoting Carpe and Saya to go over and reinforce Rossi's spot.
Yeah, it's just hard to read exactly what G2 wants to do. They're pretty active on the map. They're going to bait out some utility. They're going to look for picks early and then potentially rotate off of that. So you got to be very, very aware. A lot of util to try to slow this up. Icy is going to TP in, go for the flash.
TP in around the back. Notice that Rossi still going to be sat here trying to hold things over at main. Does end up falling, but Carpe going to be good for 1. Flash coming through. Carpe unable to find a second. The side player will also fall. That Guardian not getting any damage dealt. Excurate now, last one alive. It might just be similar scenes of him tucking away and trying to die to the spike.
Just not much that he can do at this point. Exit frags would be nice. Just trying to remember, okay, how did they leave the site last time? See if I can find a way to cut that off. A little bit of util available for him, but nothing that will likely make too big of a difference as G2 actually looks to be exiting towards the B main side of things, so will not be crossing paths with Excurate just yet, although, take it back. Leaf and Icy coming through arches. There's a world where maybe there's contact here. TP going in.
The TP just in case he starts getting caught, or never mind. It'll just be the fake TP. Trying to bait him, and oh boy. Well, 11-5. Let's just move on. 11-5. G2 out in front. I mean, finding that impact there at the end, it would have been great for Excurate, but just not quite coming through. It seems like he just wasn't even ready for them to be in that position either.
Yeah, it feels like maybe he had kind of just expected them to fully leave and not give him even the attempt at any of those exit frags. But instead, they go for it and they get it. So you got to like what G2 is doing. Confidence has to be flowing right now. 20-7 is Leaf. He is having just an unbelievable map, having so much impact with his guns. Those neural thefts have been huge for them to set up some big plays. That's a spot.
Spot was there, but TP was taken out, so he's not in position to get caught, but now with the Dimensional Drift in play, Icy checking out the entire site. Hasn't quite spotted Rossi just yet, I do believe. Rossi trying to inch forward there. Sit on that bite. a little bit. They're going to eat some damage and they catch onto them, managing to find one, but Leaf turns back, finds himself a second elimination. Carpe tries to slow things up. Hunter's Fury going across. So a little bit of damage dealt. They managed to slow them down here, prevent the plant for the time being, but still retaking this site is going to prove to be incredibly difficult for T1. A lot of their utility burned. Excret still has all of theirs, but now there's a pit in play.
This is going to be so difficult. You still have a recon dart. You could try to clear this pit, but it's going to be challenging.
The wall comes up, but everybody is just still playing here within the site itself. Aside from Trent, who gets himself tucked back, playing on that long angle. Spray coming through, nice double reveal off the recon. Knows that they're gonna be here, tries to go the flash timing, but Excret gets caught by it. Saya able to find one, Carpe the other. Jonah at 72, Pit still raised, shock dart now. Getting lobbed in, Jonah taken down by Carpe's. The pit has now fallen, and Trent has to try to hold this, but he cannot. The Fuse coming in, they do pass this over to Saya player to go ahead and get the knives online, so he does have that Blade Storm, but ooh, a nail biter round win here for T1. Themselves their first in the second half.
And it's Carpe's utility that really does this for them. That recon that spots the two in the corner, and then the shock dart to clear the Viper. That's the round right there. And then they have a great advantage against Valen over at window in a 2v1. This is just fantastic stuff from him. I mean, he's had a couple great moments, some good utility, and that more than ever, T1 needed it right there, right now, because this map was looking like it was done and dusted.
It's still a very long road to try to run this back, and there is so much money available to G2. Pop flash out of the smoke. Instant headshot, Icy. Shutting down Izu. Drone now leading its way forward through double doors. Quite at the ready to try to flush Rossi out of that back pyramid spot. Recon up over the top. Not going to be catching anyone, though.
I think that snake bite might have clipped the lip of the door. Good shot from Saya.
Good shot, good damage found, but now multiple players out in mid, so he has to back away. Doesn't overcommit, doesn't overheat. Manages to pull back, keep himself nice and healthy. As Leaf just looks to continue inching his way forward. But it looks like T1 aware that somebody might have slipped the net, that they might have gotten into a deeper position, so they're worried about this push through halls. They're worried about this position over a nest. And there it is. Jonah able to find one, but Rossi quick to reply. Shuts it down, keeps them now at a 3v3, but the ace site has been completely evacuated by T1, so it's there for the taking for G2.
Well, I like what T1 does here. They're making sure that there isn't going to be any players that are lurking, that they have to account for, hopefully. And a great shot from Saya. Oh, my.
Big one to give them now the advantage, and already a lot of damage had been dealt, but Trent able to find one. Worried about that dash forward, so Excret just comes in behind. His attention fully paid over towards doors by that jet. Valen now fragging IGL. Can he find two in him? As there's the cove, breaks it, reveals his position, tries to cut back around to the front of the pyramid, but it's just being stuck. Swings in, tries to clear him off, but Saya will be able to take him down. The defuse comes through. And T1 now get themselves up to 7.
Oh, it's huge now. Saya's starting to come up with some snappy shots against his former teammates. Hitting some big ones for the side of T1, keeping him in this. And good diligence here from T1 to make sure that this lurking player is accounted for. Once they clear that Viper out, they're like, yeah, okay, we should be able to kind of safely set up, come from a couple different angles. It helps when Saya's winning a battle like that. Now, he had full armor, so even if he gets hit by the Outlaw, he's down to 10, but that could have really changed the ending of that round, potentially. Then just one stray shot from Valen or something might have been able to set this to match point, but instead, T1 trying to claw back. They've got a couple ults. They've got the Dimensional Drift. They've got the Reckoning. They've got some tools to use, but so does G2. They've got the Cosmic Divide. They've got the Neural Theft. They've got the Hunter's Fury. They could really set up some cool combos here, and Leaf is just too good today.
This map, it belongs to him. There's another Neural Theft. I don't know how many he's already used here in this series, but I mean, Hunter's Fury, instead of trying to set up a Trent, but Leaf is just killing everyone. 3 more! Does he get the 4th? Of course he does! He is unstoppable! Saya tries to go for the challenge, but he cannot! It's another ace, this time at the hands of G2 Leaf!
He's unreal! He's unstoppable! It's just crazy! I mean, they're trying to set up Hunter's Furies off the Neural Theft. Who cares? Leaf just needs the Neural Theft for himself! This is just disgusting! What an adjustment there. Sees the ping. Easy money. Goodness gracious, what a round.
And the only positive that come out of this is that the Hunter's Fury, the only positive for T1 is that the Hunter's Fury was used and it didn't get any value. That's it. Otherwise, the round is a complete wash. G2 are now up to map point. And T1 need to win 5 consecutively just to try to force out overtime. Extra taking a peek over here. That's going to draw that Reckoning, trying to slow things up. But G2, they're still spread. They're playing the map still. They're not committing to any one site.
Oh, I love this from G2.
Oh, and Saya.
Oh, timing.
Timing indeed. Word that somebody who's going to try to slowly creep their way forward into that pit, take a little bit of space. Saya gets caught unawares.
Yeah.
Dimensional drift here from Izu, just looking to try to spot out a couple players, but he's running the clock down low, and he's going to have to try to back away. So does get himself over towards window. Excurrent with a nice timing. Creeps out and does find Leaf. With the Cypher gone, maybe T1 can actually win the round.
Well, they've got him pretty well trapped in mid. There's a pretty good surround here for the side of T1. Just are they going to be able to win some of these crucial 1v1s? Somehow Excurrent does.
I mean, that's a huge one, but he himself takes so much damage. He's down to 1 HP. So is barely still in this round. Carpe with a deep peek out, though. Checks over, doesn't see anything, so they can start to really suspect that this is going to be that B-side hit, but getting over towards that site there for them, it's going to take a while.
Right here.
Recon at the ready. Izu playing close. It needs to be huge. Turns on the flashes, able to pick the right one. Finds Icy. Excurrent, even with 1 HP, is going to be good to find that kill. With Valen falling at the end. It's a good shutdown. 3 players staying alive. Weapon not quite being able to be recovered there for Rossi, so he's going to be carrying over Stinger and will have to reinvest. But a much-needed round win as they hold on by a thread.
Yeah, just a little bit of shakiness from Team 1 and kind of anticipating the timings of when G2 could rotate back off of that Reckoning. You know, it was popped really early there by Excurrent, and Saya just kind of didn't anticipate that they would just not really push it at all and kind of fall back, and he got caught in a position where he didn't really anticipate fast enough that they'd be coming from their spawn, but it is what it is.
Leaf just working his way forward. Everybody else just kind of leaving him on this island, and it's been more than enough for him. He's been able to just dominate rounds completely of his own volition. He's just two kills away from dropping 30 in this opening series.
Feels like it's a 6v5 with the way Leaf is playing right now.
Drone across up through mid. Nothing to be spotted. It's Carpe just jiggling out, trying to maintain that Hull's control, but Excurrent getting ready to receive the brunt of G2 over here at A. Sets up the wall in advance. Recon getting a ping out on a 1. Just going to be drifting back. Look at them maybe join in with the rest of the team over at shop.
Should have a pretty good idea that mid is clear, so...
Ooh, that concuss. It does manage to connect, but he does avoid the grab well. But looking for the flash through. Should have been spotted. He pulls back, takes a little bit of damage here, does Excurrent. Viper wall goes down. He looks for the challenge. Manages to come away with 1 and somehow gets out with the slide. Can he win the second? No, he does not. Follow-up not going to be found. Icy taken down. So far, just a 1-for-1. Going to be now lurking so far forward here into halls. I'm not sure if they're going to be prepared for this, and now the Cosmic Divide is also in play. Carpe just here alongside the wall, tries to go in off that ping, but they're using it like bait. Jonah now makes his presence known. He strikes. Rossi caught off guard, and there's the finisher. That'll put him down and say, we'll let you get close, but not close enough for that overtime in his career, which was very weird. But now, he's on the Sage. Izu, who's playing Viper, is now on the Reyna, and Rossi's back over to Viper, and he was the one playing Sage. So we've just shuffled around 3 different players.
Yeah, and it makes a little bit of sense, right? Like, Rossi's a very good Viper player. See Excurrent getting up there, but Orb going to be able to be grabbed by Valen. He's just going to fall right back off the high tide, give him the cover to grab that. But it is hard to say for sure what you can expect out of T1. Not only do you only have one look at this particular comp, but now it's going to be played potentially slightly differently. Yeah, Icebox, one of the maps where Reyna can absolutely thrive, but with Izu piloting it, I'm not exactly sure what to expect. I'm pretty sure this is his first Reyna performance ever, too.
Double shock's going to be sent out. Blind does connect here on Izu, but Carpe is able to collect 2. Rossi is gunning down another 2 limbs there for him, but Carpe starts things off very nicely. As all of a sudden the Leers come out, the util gets dumped. And T1 very quickly are able to find these eliminations, so pistol round victory is going to be theirs.
Well, and you can already see some of the ideas here, and Autumn was just talking about it during the interview, where you don't have to worry about some of those explosive hits because there is no duelist for the side of G2. So you can give them a little bit of space and just punch them as they're trying to make their executes, make their plants. And you can see Josh RT a little bit frustrated with that one, but just a good patience play here from T1, reminiscent a bit of what G2 actually likes to do on their defender side against those A hits. They'll kind of hang out by the ramp over in mid as well, and then kind of swarm you as you're trying to get comfortable on those pistol rounds. Let's see what they can do here on this follow-up.
I mean, there's no ambiguity. That recon, it pinged everyone on T1. So you get the push behind here from Jonah. Says, yeah, they're not rotating out. He does have that trademark to try to work around or at least clear out for now.
Toxin screen down.
He'll still get as close as he possibly can. Tries to cut his way up over top, but eventually does have to go ahead and take that one down. So Walt coming up, interrupting some of these kills is Mosh in over the top. Looking to force them off that plant, and so far it does. So an interrupt coming through. A couple knives there onto the wall to try to break through. Saya will be able to get this plant down. Izu at 47, would love to get a kill, would love to try to get that Devour coming in. Well, just will be the Lear, just spray across. Jonah able to come up with one as Rossi will fall, but otherwise 4 players from T1 do stand tall. Vandal scooped up there by X-Grid as well, making sure they carry that ever-important rifle over into this now bonus round.
Yeah, and you're already kind of conditioning G2 here that it's going to be a lot of a lot of A hits. Yeah, I see it already. This is something that they like to do. Them and Paper Rex love to grab these early ops in round 3 if they can establish a big enough lead. And certainly, the way things have been going, it's a good opportunity here to get X-Curate into his comfort zone. A phenomenal opper, and it's going to have to be really stalwart for T1. Good start, a good recovery. And use the Poison Orb to cover mid. Of course, not able to be recovered anymore in the newest patch. And just a little bit of info being gathered. Going to catch 2 around that corner. They didn't see anything else. Valen is scooting over towards the other side of the site. Good shock dart does a little bit of damage.
Oh, as he swings out to try to clear the drone, Icy is watching for it. Fantastic headshot to go ahead and open things up on this defense for G2. Still having the players try to make their way across, but Izu able to find one, so now 4v4.
Gun here.
Op is on a very forward, deep line for X-Curate. Very easy to lose that weapon here as the chaos gets ready to ensue. Toward the wall, back up, off shot, not going to connect, but Saya player able to find that covering fire, catches one, restabilizes his aim, finds a second. Carpe will take down Trent. Now it is all on Leap. He's been a menace, but X-Curate will go ahead and get himself on the board. That final shot coming through, and T1, they will start off this map 3-0.
Just 3 players working in unison so well here for T1. X-Curate covering with the op, and then immediately Saya player realizes there's contact from the rafters, swings in. Carpe as well getting involved. And then X-Curate just going to be able to watch the screen's angle, get that final kill.
The crowd echoing his cheers. But already.
Other things that Reyna can do, but the follow-up behind it is going to be a lot more playing for trades, a lot more looking for some long angle fights with that chamber, things like that that we're already seeing come into play.
And it's already just been overall very clean. I mean, Rossi's the only one who's died on T1. He's died in every single round. So cash being banked up by the rest of these players. Leaf, they deep, work forward, but as they continue to poke and prod, Icy gets taken down. Leaf is going to be good for one, does take out X-Curate. That operator going to have to be carried over into the next round. Unless the rest of G2 can try to clutch this one up. Lear up over the top, did get the line there on the Trent, the drop in. A side player playing this aggressively. And he's starting to do it disrespectfully as well. Couple shots there. Onto the corpses. Jonah P trying to see if he can get anything done here with that Marshall. The slow orb to stave him off. Izu around the back. Finds it. Doesn't even need to use the dismiss, but he's like, man, I got money. Goes ahead and pops it. And that is going to be T1 still looking good. But this is the round that we expect that timeout is going to be preparing for. And see how things look with some more rifles back into the hands of G2.
Well, you can see that I think G2 already trying to get in the heads of T1 a little bit by getting aggressive, getting ahead of these plants, because this is something that you can't do against this comp as easily, especially because of the Sage Wall. Give them that extra space where they can kind of set up, and Saya's just been an absolute menace around that plant site. He is just mowing people down as they try to come from rafters and back site. And you got to find ways to deal with that. You got to get util in their faces, but a little bit of a change of pace here for the side of T1. I'm really curious how quickly Jonah P is going to start rotating as well. Has this been all A all the time for T1? They haven't shown you any different looks yet.
Not at all. Doing the team secret strat. Just go A over and over again. But now we have this about to be basically quad push coming down through mid with a join in from Jonah over at green. Izu eating a bit of damage there as the nanoswarms are going to be popped, and now we're also going to be investing that Viper's Pit. Valen, the rest of the team now arriving. They have managed to avoid that trademark.
3 coming from the flank though, so a lot of pressure here for Saya.
The trademark actually put in shallowly, so they're able to just push their way forward and not have to alert that at all. Saya, I don't think he's going to be ready for this at all. He's got a couple players just above him, but they're also not checking for him. Finds the one, but it's not going to be able to find a follow while Valen does strike him down. 3v4, Excurate, off in hand, good for one, tries to pivot, tries to look over to the right-hand side, but he ends up falling, and now it's just Rossi here in the pit. He's bought a decent amount of time, he still has these bites. He's trying to counter-rotate back around here from the front, finds the first, finds the second, and that is going to be the Red Bull clutch as Rossi gets himself 3 and T1 get up to 5.
Sublime timing here from Rossi. Just gets ahead of Jonah P as he tries to enter that Viper's Pit. Wraps around, lets him start defusing, completely catches him off guard. Phenomenal play here. Got to that ult pretty quickly. Died a lot early on, but that means he's going to have a little bit of earlier access to that ult, and yeah, just not aware of it. I like the change here from G2, sending a lot of players to the flank, but it was pretty well read by T1's Excurate.
Screaming for the operator.
Yep. As he should.
You're about to be cash capped. But obviously, build up as much as you possibly can. Now, another disjointed buy here for the side of G2. They do have that Thrash. They have that Reckoning online. It's just 2 Stingers, 2 Bulldogs, and a Sheriff.
But think
what
about
kind of damage they can find. And it looks like, yeah, Excurate does readjust his trademark. Knows that he misplaced it last time.
Yep. And think about how nice this is for T1, that they were able to get that pit ahead of these 2 ults that are so good at clearing it. So the ult cycle really working in the favor of T1 right now. They have the res as well.
Oh, and Carpe has the read. He knew that they could just go ahead and smoke this off as Carpe comes up with 3. Jonah finally does put an end to it, puts him down, finds himself a second with a nice headshot. As Leaf able to get up close, brings us a hell of a lot closer than we could have possibly anticipated. So he decides to try to play this one out, but as he drops down onto the site, Saya player will be able to finish him off. So 6-0, T1 continuing on their merry way.
And this time it's an even earlier positioning to deal with this late flank for T1. It's going to be Carpe showing us some flashy shots. That transition onto that second player was phenomenal.
Let's go.
And T1 here, again, pace of play going to be quick between these 2 teams. They like to get those plants down early. They like to get into those post plants as comfortably as they can. And now ults across the board here for G2. This is borderline and must-win round on this map.
Yeah, 5 just about ready to go as Trent is 1 charge away from having that. He gets himself lurched forward. A little bit of spray though. They're suspecting that, but as Izu goes rushing forward, he's just going to be blinded up by the Dizzy, and Icy is able to take him down. No covering fire, no real reinforcement. Everybody else just staved off by that Reckoning off the rip. So very nicely done there by Valen to get them an early advantage.
Look how quick T1 is rotating here, and I thought maybe G2 was going to mirror them, but they're not. They're going to clear that utility. That's going to alert them to T1's presence. How comfortably is T1 going to be able to get this plant down?
They're still going to be able to get here with a good amount of time because these nanoswarms do come through. It does delay them a bit, but now the wall can come into play. As the plant will be right here on the default corner. Wall coming through, Hunter's Fury as well, now opened up, just interrupts that one, not allowing for Saya player to go ahead and complete it. So Spike still not out. Thrash does go forward. And right now, T1, I mean, maybe feeling committed to this position, especially as that pit is now coming through. This is G2 throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this site, but T1, they want to bail out, they want to rotate back. And Leaf, somewhat suspecting this, is starting to rotate back into A.
And he's got that lockdown if they start coming this way. He can buy even more time. He can push them into more uncomfortable angles. Love this.
But he's in such a deep position. He needs to come away with kills. He needs to be able to find the surprise if he wants that lockdown to find value. But now the swarm is coming through. There's the res, and that's the perfect timing for Rossi to come up over the top. Takes him out. Now that lockdown, not going to be seen. Shock Dart's throwing the try and delay. Plant going to be coming through. Wingman gets the spot onto one. There, down below, and Carpe just plus forwards and kills off 2. Jonah now, the last one standing. And this has been a catastrophic round for G2. He gets the spot onto one, but Carpe breaks line of sight. They still have 5 players alive. Can he do anything here? Can he find damage? They suspect that he's going to be coming through from that A main side. They might be up on Belton. Yeah, I think he just has to save. He's going to see if anybody tries to exit, maybe try to catch that frag here. But if he doesn't survive with this weapon, then it's even more catastrophic.
And all the ults they invested in this round. I mean, I guess the slightly good news is he didn't lose the lockdown. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know what, if it was worth it. I thought for sure Leaf was going to be in a position there. Okay, Jonah B's going to get one.
We'll find one. So the flawless not to come through here, but it's still no closer to a round victory for G2 as T1 continue to run away with this icebox. You can see Spirit still looking relatively high here for the squad. Some smiles on their faces, but certainly not in a position that they want to be in at the moment. And it seemed like it was very much in their hands. The start was great, that early reckoning, catching them off guard, finding the punish on the Izu, and just stopping that potential res from coming in. It felt like every single ult investment from G2 was pretty much perfectly timed. They interrupt that plant, they get the pit to stop them from getting back into the site. All that they were missing was that lockdown being used in a more defensive position to stop him from getting into A.
Exactly. No, you're right on, my friend. I thought for sure that Leaf was going to do that. Oh, quick up on the pipes, but my God, what a shot from Icy.
Another first blood for him. Saya, quick to reply, does manage to find Jonah. So Icy now just going to get tucked along here into the corner. And the pace very much gets slowed down.
T1 just looking for these angles for X-Curate. Cove is going to go up, though. He's just going to continue to hold that angle, see if anyone's going to try to push out for info or anything like that. But for now, T1 happy to plant their feet, looking for these late lurks potentially. Let's see, with the spike is Saya. He's kind of drifting around there on Belt. For now, nobody really moving a muscle with no contact on either side.
Yeah.
A re-up of the high tide here for Valen.
I mean, G2 is fairly convinced that they're still going to be in this site. They have no reason to suspect otherwise. That alarm bot is still sat over at B. And nothing's been seen by Leaf. Yeah, quick heal, quick clear on that recon as the wall falls. And this is the moment now for T1 to try to strike. A lot of detail dumped into the corner, and there it is, the snake bite does flush out Icy. Really good awareness here from T1. Rossi going to be taken down. Trent is able to put that Vandal to use for at least 1 kill, but can he find more? There's the jiggle from Carpe. Knows that there's going to be another, and it's a bit of a 50-50 for him, but Carpe just goes in for the challenge, gets the headshot. It's now 8-0 for T1.
Well, I mean, credit to G2 for doing their homework on Breeze. Credit to T1 for doing their homework on this map. I mean, they are reading every single position so nicely. The shock dart into the snake bite combo with the slow there. Yeah, no, there's no chance there. They just knew his position. He's just dead. With the slow orb there as well, he can't get out. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And it's just great trades, great positioning, great awareness, good util when they need to. But right now, it's just more about everybody kind of doing their job and being in the right place at the right time. Let's see if there's any challenge here. Carpe gonna scout ahead of this high tide, just see if there's any info. Alir, just in case somebody had tried to push out early for G2, but still have that lockdown for Leaf. Let's see if that's part of what this timeout was about. I suspect it is. He's been sitting on it for a bit.
Hunter's Fury on the open. Carpe looking to see if he can catch anybody here, and just barely splits the difference there, so unable to find the tag on the Trent. Lockdown now as well, trying to buy some space. Saya, can he get out of it in time? Yes, he does. So to detain, not going to be found playing that one on a razor's edge is T1, but X-Curate now going to be taken down. Leaf starting to come up a little bit. That's the operator now dealt with. Izu trying to find a pacey timing, goes up, gets the dismiss out, sees a couple other plays, but now Leaf comes away with a second. Saya going to be taken down, but Izu as well, equalizing, gets that kill. Off shot taken out into Carpe's hands, unable to find the value there. Recon cleared, nothing spotted, sees the legs of Icy, but cannot find the kill, and Rossi cannot get the clutch. G2 will at long last get themselves on the board.
And even though that's read pretty well there by T1, that was a conscious decision to invest that Hunter's Fury before the lockdown came down, because they knew they had the timing to get Saya player back out after he puts the plant down. I mean, a lot of teams aren't going to get aggressive off the back of their lockdowns these days. They're going to wait it out, because you can never count other teams out of getting aggressive towards you, trying to clear potentially that lockdown or get a free pick and leave. So they have to play back. T1 tries to take advantage of it, but it gives G2 enough comfort to get their angles, to get their shooting under control. Couple just off the mark shots from Xcurate hurts there as well for T1. Usually pretty steady with that op. This time around, just a little bit off the mark. However, the money obviously very, very good. A little bit of congestion though at the front of the orb is still T1 continuing their march forward towards A, and G2 is going to opt to play a little bit further back, giving up that front part of the site, just like they did on the pistol round.
Drone for drone, but I mean, right now, Trent, he is spotting out everything. No ambiguity once again here for T1. Shock dart lobbed in. Not going to get the connection there.
T1 hasn't needed the ambiguity, though. They haven't really needed to have much.
Another wall set up. There's the reveal of the TP out. He's timing there from Xcurate to keep himself safe. They're also kind of hoping that this is maybe faked, that somebody else, is in that forward position. Zizu stays stuck, and he's able to find a headshot. Dismisses forward, just checking for more info. Cuts back, Lear now going to be sent out, and spots out two. Quick little dismiss there as he goes up on top of the wall, and Leaf does manage to shut that down. Rossi, though, ready to invest. The pick coming through. Xcurate re-peeking, finds Jonah, and he knew that Leaf had already worked his way into the site, so they know that he's in this committed position. That's a bit wanting from Xcurate, though, given how low he was. Ends up going down. But can Leaf find more? There's the headshot. As he gets himself 3. It would be an ace clutch for him to get G2 a second round win. We've already seen him get an ace on that Breeze map. All on his lonesome, jumps across to the opposite side. They hear this. They should roughly kind of know where he's going to be positioned, but as he pushes up into the smoke, Carpe with a shorty will be able to put him down. Not giving him any more wiggle room. They shut it out. That's T1 now, 9-1.
Yeah, loving the way that Izu's been playing this Reyna in the last couple of rounds. Gets the kill, uses the dismiss to get information. Immediately the Lear follow-up. Goes on top of the wall, Leaf's ready for it, but now Xcurate finding value with that op. Something missing out of the previous round, something that is hitting in this round for T1. That is a difference maker for sure, because you can't let Leaf get hot, as we saw on Breeze. He could start taking over maps. At this point, though, 9-1 for T1. Good, pretty in control.
And you can see, the heavy stack just only leaving Jonah over towards B, because it has just been this A site over and over again. Xcurate with 1, Rossi, Saya, one apiece as well, as the Thrash does get invested, but it's not going to be able to come up with any detains. I see he's been fairly clean with a sheriff shot so far, but the first couple just not being given the space. He's not being given the timing to try to set up for them. He falls, and Rossi reads the lurk decently well, just can't quite connect the shots. Takes a bit of damage, but it's going to be Xcurate, the IGL, picking up 3 to get T1 up to double digits.
And now T1 is hitting their win conditions. It's great executes, they're great awareness as well, but now Xcurate starting to heat up with that op. Is if a player on T1, whether it be Saya or Xcurate, starts hitting their op shots, starts getting those opportunities, forget it. They are too good with it, and it's really hard to deal with.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Have we seen a single plant on B? The one that they tried. For, interrupted.
They tried.
It's just been nothing but A.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's no ambiguity to this, Achilleos. They're just reading. They're just reading G2 so well. Tour de force.
Tour de force at the ready, but Trent able to shut it down. Icy fighting 1. There's the res to try to bring Xcurate back in, but still T1 bleeding out multiple players. Leaf forward spot, but Rossi snappy with it, finds that headshot. As T1 look for an 11.5. Jonah noted, has to rotate back across through mid. You can see T1 not feeling comfortable. Losing out on those players, that's a lot of their entry power, a lot of their util taken out of their hands. And they know that that Hunter's Fury is on the opposite side.
But if you think about it, with this comp that T1 has, it makes a lot of sense that it's not a lot of B. They don't have a lot of flashes. They don't have the KO. They don't have the Gecko. They don't have the ability to clear some of those back areas as easily, where they can work the angles really nicely as a team here. Yes, they have the Lears, but you don't have the ability to sort of clear deeper angles. So these close quarters angles, of course, it works into the Reyna as well. The Sage works a treat here. Not sure if he was supposed to raise him up or not, but...
Oh, Xcurate does end up dying there as the fight comes through, but Jonah was already taken so very low. Hunter's Fury, Trent just fishing, trying to find anything that he can to stave them off, but nothing spotted. A 4K from Rossi as it's 11-1 in the half. T1 so far out in front.
It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. T1 able to bounce back like this and look like this on their opponent's map pick. Crazy stuff here. Good shooting from G2, but it's just not enough. I mean, T1's just got the economy and they've got the shots, man.
It's just another one of these situations where it just feels like a night and day difference for both teams compared to that first map. Huge response here from...
Well, it could be a quick one.
It very well could be, but not at all in the way that we maybe had anticipated, considering what happened to Breeze, considering what T1's record has been like on this map. But this is, as Autumn was saying, you know, we workshopped this quite a bit. Didn't have to change the comp, just change who plays what. And Excurate, well, he still plays Chamber, pushes forward, finds that first kill as Leaf gets taken down.
I'm just left in awe of how T1 is just looking so much crisper on this map. It's incredible. I mean, right there, just Excurate kind of understanding where they like to peak early, taking advantage of it. Now, Rossi going to be challenged a bit. A lot of util in the hands of Carpe. He went for the full util buy. He could potentially back him out. Rossi sees a lot. He has to get out of there. He knows it.
Just pulls away. Arbor Wall now going to be coming up. Wingman there for the plant. Slow up to try to stop them from getting into a forward position. This does leave Valorant a little bit stranded, but he's still able to come away with one before falling to side player's hand. Side player continuing to try to push up, try to find that additional punish. Does end up getting caught. 3v3 though. One shock dart left available. Excurate still pushing in from behind, and it looks like, yep, they do suspect it, but it's back to back. Looks for that, and he's got it. Excurate, the 4K to give T1 another pistol round win to give them map point. That is disgusting.
He's been outrageous in some of these rounds today. Kicks it off with the Headhunter, has the Sheriff. Oh my goodness.
Does it with Leaf's Sheriff.
That's unbelievable.
Bringing the Pacific Anthem over to Master Shanghai.
My man. The only thing I could fault T1 in that round was Saya overswung. That was about it. I mean, it was just great map control there with how Excurate is able to push out, control the front of A so well. And then Rossi has a great read to fall back after seeing those. I mean, it's just, other than that, it's really well played there by T1. I mean, they're in firm control of that round in terms of the info game, in terms of the shooting. Everything was them.
My only criticism was that it wasn't another ace for Excurate. He let somebody else get a kill. Could have had back-to-back.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But now, obviously, the force up here for G2. But even then, still not that strong. 3 stingers can do some significant damage, but they're going to have to try to play a bit more up close and personal as that wingman plant comes in. Nothing to stop it, nothing to dissuade it. Wingman looks to be recovered. Side player just inching his way out, just taking pot shots, trying to see if he can find any kind of straight connection, do some damage before they really start with this retake.
Really just that Gecko utility left. Shock Dart keeps players at bleed temporarily, but they got all the info.
Run for the spot, easy to try to lead the charge. He does end up falling down. Aggressive push forward, and that's Excure with a no-scope outlaw headshot. What a snappy reaction from him. Either way, they continue to storm their way forward, and as Valorant, he was the last one standing. He does fall. T1 damn near perfection on Icebox as they close this out 13-1. They are not going quite quietly into the night. They have plenty of tape to have been studied.
And I was so hoping we get to see this map between these two teams, because G2 has been absolutely phenomenal so far this year, or this stage on Lotus. They beat C9, they beat Leviathan in the run back in the lower finals, they beat Furia, they beat EG. A little bit of contention here outside of A main as G2 gonna start on the attacker's side this time. Looking for those angles, gets a spot. Carpe though, takes a little bit of damage, just gonna opt to fall back. Some rotations coming through. Saya sliding over for T1, but G2, typical G2 fashion, didn't really like what they saw. Smoke coming up and gonna use that opportunity to rotate around. Maybe think about a B pivot or a C pivot. Let's see what they want to go for. His next Curate was tucked into that A corner, so something gave it away a little bit there for G2 that could be the more challenging part of the map. However, Rossi sliding over, Isu ready with that paranoia. A lot of util dumped here by G2 for essentially nothing, and Valen just goes in and sees nothing, and he's like, don't like it. We're not getting any contact, and there's some contact.
And there's deja vu is what it is. Excurate finding the headshot with a headhunter there onto Leaf. Tap on the door. Here's all these footsteps. He knows that there's plenty more players. But still, T1 not full sending the rotations. But he coming in, can't quite stabilize those follow-up shots. Paint shells going in a little bit deep and shot through. As Trent able to find one, but Carpe arrives. Cleans up two. Icy, Trent now dead. A 4v2. As G2 look to try to get this pistol. Take some big moments from him, but now Jonah taken down. Saya finds a headshot. Valen trying to creep up, but he just doesn't check over to the right. Rossi was just right out in the open, right behind the box. Finds the finishing shot, and that's going to be T1 getting themselves a pistol round win once more.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic job here by T1 in the first place obscuring all the information of where their players mostly are positioned. They saw Carpe at the beginning of the round. That was about it until they reaggressed towards A and got taken down by Xcurate. Then they decide, okay, well, we just got to go for this. Let's push. And yeah, Xcurate not able to find any more kills, but that buys enough time for Carpe to slide up into A heaven from that rope, get a big double kill. And then it's just kind of messy there in a 2v4 for G2. Can't really find the angles. By that point, T1 has rotated in. The reinforcements arrive, and the round goes the way of T1 to start.
Mark there to try and delay, but Carpe just dragging across, able to find Icy, sprays in to clean up Trent as well. 2 quick kills found, paint shells lobbed in. Valen just having to stay flush against that door, keep quiet, and try to keep his life intact, but to join in. Yep, he's gonna have to hit that one. Swing onto the corner, it's a double stack, high-low. Xcurate able to find that kill. For Valen and Leaf. Cover going out. Any kind of additional damage dealt here is going to prove to be so incredibly difficult. Couple shots into the smoke, though. Very much reading the tendencies there of Isu incredibly well. Valen will find that a limb, but as the door opens up, Carpe will get himself a third. Rossi hits a piece of the pie as well. It's a damn near flawless here. T1 move up 2-0.
Yeah, just a very nice hold here early by Carpe. Catches the raise mid-flight, and then able to track down some of those shots that are coming through that toxic screen very nicely. And that's making the round incredibly difficult for G2. Yeah, they get a couple kills, but you're getting that early op once again. You can see that T1, I saw it in their money. Xcurate had 2,000 credits in that previous round, and just enough to get that op in a full armor. You do have a Bulldog or 2 that have to be cut so that this op can come in. Of course, you got to be expecting it. There's that shot and the TP out.
Yeah, right at the base of Icy's feet. He does manage to stay alive. Couple shots across over towards Baby Door to see if he can catch anybody trying to lurk up behind that Viper wall. But otherwise, it's again just a bit of an explosive opener, some shots in a util exchange. And now shift back across the opposite side of the map, but where Rossi is looking to intercept. Paranoia sent, swing onto the corner. Izu able to find one. Rossi gets the other. Izu will not be allowed to escape. Trent does find that kill. Think about to try to hold them at range, but Rossi now needs to get himself out of a bit of a dicey situation. Just goes in for the challenge. Does end up falling to the paint shell, but he still secures them the man advantage. I see at 45 HP. Trent is well tagged down to 85. Playing in versus a Vandal, an Op, and a Bulldog. And all these players have full health still.
Just a slight pause, but T1 has firm control of the map. Saya over at A main.
He's in behind. He knows that they're still just going to come pushing as Carpe will continue. This has been a whale of a start for him as once more T1, similar scenes to Icebox, kick things off 3-0.
I mean, they're doing such a good job of playing quickly off the information that they have. They're pushing out on the extremities of the map, and there's a quick back, like double back towards C here for the side of G2, and it's that Paranoia into the push-out combo for T1 that gets them that early kill advantage. And now Carpe has a Nightfall in this 4th round. A little bit of a shift of position for Xcurate. Here we go. Out towards Rubble. Going to be uncontested mostly by G2. And for now, quick pivot towards C. Are they going to be able to force the issue on this weaker buy with these stingers?
Xcurate just here along the door. I mean, there's plenty of noise being made here. As Paranoia goes across, catches on the multiple. Izu reading it, tries to get the adjustment for that third, can't quite make it happen. Door opened up, off shots coming in. Xcurate gets him right in the dome, right through the top of mound. He's now fallen, Valen spotted, swing out, and Trent will be able to put Carpe down. His first death of the map thus far. They continue to just swing out and look for these challenges. Saya still situated silently here within the side itself. No paint shell available, does have the boom bot. But you could tell G2,
One enemy
they just
remaining.
have no comfort in this position whatsoever. Saya will pick up a two-piece there on the back end. It's T1 now 4-0.
Yeah, I like the idea here from G2, kind of sensing that T1 is trying to play some early aggression, trying to play a little bit of traps. But this time, Izu playing a little bit further back. As soon as that Prowler comes out, his paranoia follows up, gets a bunch of them, sees the player black somewhat. And that's something I'm looking for here. You know, you saw it with teams getting, you know, deep smokes, deep flashes to cover off some of those anticipated angles that Xcurate likes to hold. Now you got to look for those opportunities, because so far they haven't found them.
Smoke, paranoia, gonna be sent in. Icy able to find that forward player. Rossi gonna be taken down. Showstopper, he's blinded up, can't quite get that rocket in deep enough. And Izu able to keep himself very healthy as he tucks back just on that left-hand side over at C. So now, not finding anything else, G2 will start to back away. Xcurate in a very far forward position as the TP set up, but now has to be reclaimed. He knows that they're into that B site, and if he does take that TP, he's going to be dead to rights, just out in the open. So Plant now coming through. G2 with a man advantage. Can they close this out? Rush forward out of the smoke. Icy finding himself a third, shuts it down. Notes Carpe on the opposite side of the door. Now it's just he and Xcurate to try and see if we can somehow claw this one back. Boombot cleared, paint shells lobbed in to try to cut them off. Xcurate able to find one. That's going to be the lurker. Now dead. But still, so many angles to try to clear out. Headhunter in play there from him as Carpe going to be struck in from behind. Icy now on for an ace. He moves forward, wants to try to catch that one, but Xcurate says no. Finds that kill. Now things start getting a little bit more risky for them because they still need to hold on to these weapons. So Xcurate will just go ahead, save the operator, pulls back away. It's G2. Drift across the opposite sides of the map, maintaining their weapons, and they get themselves on the board at long last.
Yeah, and this is a good read here from G2, kind of identifying some of the open space that T1 is giving up. You don't have some of that Killjoy utility that can often be kind of difficult to deal with on the B site for teams on Lotus. So you can bypass that and just make quick hits. This time around, we're able to sneak past the defenses, the opening trade as well, but still, Josh not super happy with it. It is a round, it is a win. The op still remains in Xcurate's hands. Still have the Nightfall as well, so all things considered for G2, you're in a pretty good position now.
That's more costly than he wanted it to be. Icy now trying to work his way forward over by the tree. Paint shells lobbed out, but Saya not caught by them.
Jeez.
Just a minute amount of damage taken here, but B site completely open. Prowler will go ahead and check forward. Trademark to try to slow things up on the approach. Showstopper as well. Side player looking to shove them back, but kill found. Easy with a nice backstab. Comes away with one, but he's not ready for Leaf out wide. And Trent does manage to find the kill. Manifest still going to be Helicopter coming out with two. And all of a sudden, it's right back into T1's hands. Spike now dropped here on the smoke. Leaf able to find the one. Gets the taps. Absolutely gorgeous rifling from him to keep G2 in this round. Saya swinging out, finds one now, the 1v1. They know Leaf's position was right there in the spawn. He's inching, he's looking for it! And Saya will have it. The Red Bull clutches his. Damn close, Leaf doing everything that he could. But Saya just barely gets away with it and stops G2 from finding that second round win.
I mean, it's so interesting how fast this map is. And part of it's because T1's pushing the pace, and this time around G2 reads it pretty well, but that's just insane from Carpe. Completely changes the destiny, and you're like, okay, Leaf's turn. He's hitting some banger shots. And then it's Saya's turn. He's gonna step in, and just barely, one more shot, he would have lost that battle.
Pop off. You get a 2K, you get a 2K. Sharing this is Xcurate trying to go for
the
same timing shot. Not quite ready for the reveal on the haunt there, as Orb's going to be snatched up by Icy, just two away from that next showstopper. Xcurate just dropping back here, up on top of dropping as the smokes continue to fly through. He has to reposition, but Rossi, the first Bastion defense, ends up falling, and that's going to be a weapon now handed over here to Trent. Sees in play, Xcurate still wanting to peek off the back of this, expecting somebody to push their way over in towards tree. But no one giving him a sightline whatsoever. The Nightfall just having to be eaten. Now fully deafened up. Knows that there's going to be no flank coming in, but Trent's actually going to be the one taken down. Saya comes away with that kill. Pinch to clean it up. Icy now dead. Izu doing God's work somewhere. Finds two. They go ahead. They double push the smoke. They flush him out. And the defuse is there. T1 with 3 players left standing can go ahead, pick up the operator once again. And that is going to be them carrying on their merry way.
And that presence of Xcurate on that site, it just makes it so they can't push, and so that the angles can be pretty well read by T1 in the post plant that G2 is trying to set up. They can just start spamming them down, just shutting them down. Izu comes through stairs and just mows down too. They're not ready for the timing.
Yeah, Leaf not being past that wall quite just yet. I mean, he is. He's 9-1-1 at the moment.
He's.
I mean, call for help, G2.
Yeah.
Saya's telling you what to do.
Now, you do have a Viper's Pit for Jonah P. A lot of util, again, to try to clear Mound, but it's once again Izu by himself. Uses the Paranoia early.
Catching on to 3, and there it is, the mowdown. Saya pushing out, able to find 2. Xcurate gets 1. They lose 2 of their players here due to T1. They still come away with a decent little advantage. There's the cut across on the smoke, and Xcurate anticipating that second player still is not quite ready. Misses out on the timing. Misses out on the shot. So he's now sent the wall falling. Looking for a flick, but there's no one there to receive the shot. Carpe, in the meantime, does find Trent and Rossi swinging around the back. Odin in hand will just gun him down. The pain continues, 7-1. T1 looking absolutely incredible.
And this is the defender side of Lotus as well. They are absolutely just barnstorming them right now. And this time they show them a different look when they've given up space on Mound. Izu was playing further back the last time, waiting before they came through the door to let loose with the Paranoia. This time it's a trap play with the swinging door as well. Paranoia into the Mound, catches a bunch, and it's a favorable trade for T1 and another early. T1 so chooses, plus you have to figure out where the heck this operator is just in case, because you never know, Xcurate might just snipe you out of the air as you're blast packing around. Things like that can happen. Looks like it might be an A-main duel.
Smoke coming down, Valen just TPing in, back rubble. Space conceded though, T1, anticipating that showstopper is likely to come into play.
Exactly.
So are playing back, looks like Saya just gonna be rotating around here. And as Carpe continues to jiggle peek out over at stairs. And given the buys, I mean, he doesn't have to really respect too much of the damage available for them on those jiggles, aside from the Sheriff.
Still though, making a lot of noise, still could cut through towards that baby door. But for now, looks like A is going to be the initial thought here for G2. And all this space given up. Here goes that showstopper.
Showstopper sent. He's likely going to have to just kind of gamble for it. As he works his way up the rope. Izu just around the corner. He finally turns back. Showstopper still does connect on the side player, so it's just going to be the raises traded out. Now the pit invested, looking to make this have an approach completely unassailable. Jonah, however, only able to find Xcurate before falling. Now the pit dropped. Izu, however, going to be taken down. Carpe arriving. That lockdown is in play. Maybe just a small little cut before him to play with to try to keep himself safe. No, he ends up getting detained. Now he's just trying to break line of sight, keep himself protected. He is able to do so. He will be able to regain his weaponry, but he's at 1 HP. A lot of this pressure is going to be on Rossi. Trent not going to be caught by the Nightfall. The Seize does not get the grab. Haunt at the ready, time ticking. Needing to try to stick onto this one. Rossi able to mow them down, but is the time going to be there? It's so very close that he can't quite make it happen. It's a MasterCard thrifty here. The hands of G2 as they find themselves a second round win.
Well, for what it's worth, they get the win, but it took everything in the kitchen sink for G2 to find that round. It took the showstopper, it took the lockdown, it took the Viper's Pit, and still T1 wipes them all out. And it was only 0.32 seconds they had to spare. Rossi been great with that Odin. Xcurate tried to push into that Viper's Pit early, couldn't quite do so. It's so close. But now, okay, great. Now you've got all these ults. You've got the tour de force. You've got the showstopper still for Saya. This is a very tricky round for them to navigate, trying to keep Xcurate uncomfortable with the Prowler, but this is all just kind of trying to get some info, trying to keep players in place. You do have a bit of a push here by Leaf, trying to clear the trademark with the Swarm Grenade. He is going to get it. So good awareness there from G2 of where that likely spot of that chamber utility was going to be.
Well, probably to check, it's going to be 2 weapons heard. And because of that trademark clear out, he does have to turn his sights back over in towards me, make sure that there's not going to be this pinch coming through. So for now, it's Carpe to try to really hold things off. He continues to jiggle peek. No one really peeking out there, no one really giving him any sights, but because there's not been a push into B, because they're pushing all the way out of mound, T1,
they know.
Confidently going to know that they're either clustered up in here outside of A or just outside of B. So a third of the map, something that they don't really have to be concerned about anymore. Alarm bot here from Leaf. Try to set up, give them that early alert system, but in his position, he still could be taken down.
Oh no.
Start working their way forward. Execute making his position here known. Alarm bot gonna have to be cleared out, but Icy first one to fall. Leaf able to come up with 2. Those are huge eliminations, and he knows that the third is there, but Execute gets himself on the line to find the shot and does manage to take him down. Spike now planted, ticking away. How do they decide to hold this one off? Just the C's. A teleport available to them. All of the util expended here from G2 at the moment. Execute works his way forward, looks to try to just be able to hold this one to half, and he is playing on the corner. Can play this somewhat safely, but no, he's going to end up getting taken down. Now it is all on Carpe. He finds the first. Still 2 more to try to deal with. Clear out on the haunt. Reads the Omen's position, but cannot find the shot. Valen will be able to stand tall. Takes him down. G2 get themselves a third.
This is huge from G2. Leaving those players behind. A Leaf comes up massive again for them on that rock. Just sitting there waiting. It got pinged out, but I don't think they quite thought he was this far deep. You can see Saya just jumping up and over, trying to figure out what's going on towards Tree. Pays the price for it. Can't give Leaf those opportunities. And okay, 2 rounds in a row now for G2. Starting to feel themselves a little. Starting to get that wind behind their sails again. Let's see if they can string a few more together here. Make this a 7-5 half. Then, you know, mentally at least, you're feeling a little bit better going into that other side of the map.
Big TP, but Showstopper out, sends it. That's going to be Leaf taken down. Saya looking for a little bit of follow-up, but well, he does get some good damage across the Trent. He cannot confirm that kill. Trent down to 2, Icy at 84. A 1-for-1 exchange in the end. Carpe, Marshall online, Prowler coming through, sees the jump across, tries to adjust for the raise. Otherwise, maybe could have gotten a catch onto one of the other players. Instead, decides to pull back.
Yeah, the diligence good.
Oh, trying to go for the flick. Playing off that Prowler timing. Nothing going to be spotted there. Sees to try to buy himself a little bit more time. Launch over the top. Not going to be confirming no presence forward here in the site.
There.
Just looking for those shots through the smoke. Might have gotten a tag there on a Jonah P.
Yeah, a little bit of damage dealt.
Yeah, they have to retreat though. Don't like what they're seeing with all this utility. That Marshall, one of the scarier guns for sure with the eco buy from left. T1. So they say, okay, let's try a different direction. Let's give him another look.
The calls to go to A. Izu set up here, looking to try to get these smokes in preparation. Sends one over towards the tree door. There's a Sheriff in hand. He's snappy as hell with that first shot. Can't quite find the follow-up, but now there's only 10 seconds remaining. Smokes left. Coming through. Execute into the smoke. Looks like they still suspect it, but he's able to find the shot, and that's going to be it. The round, as long as they survive, it's over. They can get the plant money, but they cannot get the round win. It is a MasterCard thrifty. Extra will still get a follow-up. Gets himself all of them. Nothing retained. Everything taken from them. T1 now at 8-3.
How do you play it any better than that? That's unbelievable. His understanding of the timing, his understanding of the positioning. He sneaks right into that Omen smoke just a step ahead of his opponent. And that gives him the ability to stop the plant and end the round. And then he's got the TP ready to just peace out. Unbelievable stuff from X-Curate. And he's letting him know he's waving goodbye already.
Unbelievable. Well, we are right into the action, by the way, as we go into this last round of the half side player. Able to take down Icy. Finds himself another one. Carpe as well, getting a piece of the pie. And suddenly, we're all on Valen. Just a stinger in hand. Somehow he slipped the net. He does have the ult. He could pick up the spike, but we're going to have to run the replay, I think, a couple times to really assess what happened here. Double swing out, line up, and somehow he gets the collat at that distance, but Rossi says, no more of that nonsense. He will be able to be the last one standing, as it's 9-3 on the half, with T1 out in front once again.
My stinger don't work like that. Oh
no.
My God.
No, it does not. But yeah, let's get ready to reassess exactly what transpired at the beginning of this round, because it was explosive. As well, we'll take a look at this one first. Yeah, that range, being able to get 2 kills, that's insane.
I mean, this is the Valen special. He is
Thank you very much. Yes, life is exactly what we are looking to see here from these squads. He's going to be playing in the next game.
Dang it, come on,
exactly
man.
where you're going.
Come on. You got to give me those.
I'm going to read your jokes about as well as T1's been reading this map at the moment.
It's almost like we've been casting together for a while.
Wow. G2, a must-win pistol. Gonna look at just slow things up here on this approach. Doesn't need a bit of damage, and now eats the paranoia. He's out in front, and Saya is able to take him down. Push up, though, into the upper. Valen will be there to go ahead and get the punish. So far, a 1-for-1 as Isu as well looking to try his luck, but with the back up there from Rossi, he's able to find it. Isu turns back over, finds another. Excurrent takes down Trent, and suddenly it is all on Leaf. Rossi, maybe an easier target here for him at 65. It actually doesn't interrupt the plan. They just want to double base, but he runs out of bullets! Does Excurrent, and that is going to be a Red Bull clutch here from Leaf.
Oh my!
Spray on that corpse, and oh boy, Excurrent, one bullet shy of being able to fire that pistol round win. Leaf, he takes those.
Leaf here bringing a shot of adrenaline for his team. This round looked like it was done and dusted. Yeah, but Excurrent there, just running out of ammo. T1 doing a lot of good things, a lot of good trades. The early hit was beautiful. Paranoia right on point. But Leaf has been phenomenal at times today. Obviously on Breeze, he was brilliant. Now he's got that outlaw and he's got a kill.
He does take a nasty bit of damage. The Marshal at least able to find some bit of value there from Saya, but Leaf, yep, just once again picking up that outlaw, putting it to good use. Excurrent in the meantime going to be creeping forward. Icy just around the corner. Excurrent trying to play this out as quietly as he possibly can, but I think he's spotted. He's been spotted, yep, and he will get taken down. Solid opener here from Icy. If he drops, that A site gets opened up, and who knows what happens from there. A much needed kill, much needed stability for G2.
It's a cute attempt there from Excurrent, trying to hide himself from that jiggle peek angle. Just not quite able to do so. Izu is going to snatch up that Marshal for himself, see if they can make this C-site hit work. There is that nano right on the ground. Carpe heard it, but just says, whatever. I'll just walk through it anyway. See if we can at least get the plant down potentially, get some money in the hands of T1. Throw out the haunt to try to cover. Just players of G2 waiting all on the extremities of this C-site.
Spike planted.
Spike in, but still 5 members alive here for G2. Izu, look at that first challenge here, first contact. He does have that Marshal in hand, but does have to back away, and he's a nasty amount of damage now, down to 12 HP. Ends up getting paranoia. C's coming through to try to buy some time here for them, but I see with that paint shell lob around the corner, does come up with a kill. Rossi right-clicking his way, but doesn't know where they're at. It was about to be a 180 attempt with a Marshal shot. 3 players left standing, though. Outlaw and 2 Bulldogs going to be carried over. G2, they managed to not give up the anti-eco.
Yeah, a good start here for G2. Good patience. T1 trying to set up a little bit of bait and switches there on that C site, trying to draw players out so he can get some kills. Huge early win there, even though he takes the damage. That outlaw, so valuable for Leaf. And Excurrent again, attempt at something a little bit cheeky. Not quite able to find success. However, he does have enough money for an op. So, all things considered, T1 trying to get back into that groove, trying to get back into that comfort zone. And it is so tricky for G2 because you have to be so cautious about pushing these angles.
Oh, Izu out in front of this smoke. Tries the transition there, but it's a little bit too soon. But now with the reveals coming in, they know that they're stuck. But Icy
Spike down.
still able to find that kill. Leaf in the meantime, killing off Rossi's Saya player. Just he and Excurrent try and stop this bonus conversion. Excurrent creeping along, working his way back over in towards spawn. Jonah backing off. There's the jump. There's the pick. Excurrent finds the kill. Now he'll move forward, bring the spike over into the site where it can be planted for Leaf to see what decision he makes. It's going to be a very long rotation for him.
Could snag a gun on the way through. Upgrade that outlaw into a rifle for sure. And yep, he's looking right at the one in spawn. Things just so aggressive from both these teams.
All grabbed up, but with the tuck into the corner here from Excurrent, it's really hard to try to isolate. He's got that trademark set up over at Waterfall, and now he's just watching main. Leaf needs to read this, needs to find that kill and get himself back out so that he can re-aggress against Saya player here. It's expecting it, but he's just not quite able to find the shot. Xcurate will go ahead and put him down as T1 get themselves up to 10. Of course, the operator recovered.
Yeah, no, it's just a crazy start to this round. Izu TP's just to the side of Mound here, using this smoke to cover his angle. A great paranoia as well to set him up. But then there's two players from G2 cutting in, and he can't quite get his aim stabilized in time. They try to re-peek, but the players of G2 were waiting, got some big kills. However, Saya, the final piece of the puzzle for T1 in that round, in terms of getting into that C site and getting that plant down. A little bit of an early smoke, but Xcurate is not afraid of anything when he has an op in his hands. He is just pushing, 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 and he wants to see what he can get away with.
He said it in interviews multiple times. He feels like when he has that operator in hand, he's the best player in the world. Like that's the level of confidence that he has with it. While it was a slow start on Icebox, it's been pretty good.
It's been all right, yeah.
First couple rounds on Icebox, ever since then, it's been nothing but solid. Creeps his way up, gets himself in behind rubble. Oh spot onto one, but I don't know if he's going to be ready for a potential counterswing from Valen.
Yeah, he has to fall back towards his rendezvous. He's the safety there of that TP now that he's been identified. And G2, though, not looking to try to get aggressive off of it. They're, I think, a little bit concerned that this is some kind of trap play. Instead, they're just going to be content to just wait this out, sit by Baby Door, and see what T1's move is. They're going to be reactive in this round.
Trent is right there, but Icy is just behind the box. And it hasn't looked like Xcurate has really paid any attention towards that position, but as the wall comes up, cut off his access, they cut off his sight lines, and they look to storm into the A side. Valen, however, spraying across, able to find one, finds himself a second as Izu will fall. Rossi answering back, does take him down. The advantage is there. Plant now coming through, tagged up are Rossi and Xcurate. Not even 100 HP between the two of them versus 4 players. Saya trying to be the first one to save them off. Spotted out just a bit. They take their time on the approach to drop and actually cut back across in towards stairs. Turn the set up in case that backstab comes through. Saya dead. Xcurate and Rossi now everything to do, everything to attempt, but they will just get gunned down. Jonah takes him out in one fell swoop. With 4 players left standing, they can even grab the operator if they want. That's going to be G2. Shortening the gap a little bit more, keeping themselves in this series. It's now 10-6.
The patience is paying off for G2. They're doing a great job of not giving up anything early. And then as soon as this toxic screen comes down, Valen knows that there's only so much time that you have to get towards the A site. And he is in a perfect spot. They let all of T1 pass. They don't spray through that toxic screen when they're opening that door at tree because they know that the timing is a little bit shorter than what you need to cross into the site most likely. And Valen is just waiting with open arms. He gets a big kill. Just a little bit of damage here to Jonah P. Rossi though, oh boy.
Spotting out multiple, needs to try to back away. Tag down to 85 and he's going to be hightailing it out. With the orb take, Xcurate does get this tour de force online. Poison orb to come up, and it looks like Xcurate might. Okay. Looks like maybe the call is going to be to not just blind push up through the Viper orb. Thinks better of it.
Just trying to clear some space, maybe see if they can draw some attention out of B. Taking his time, but nobody up in heaven. You do have Valen over towards the waterfall side of B site. Identify the turret. Smoke's going to come out, and for now, T1's just going to use that opportunity to regroup towards main. Not a lot of information for T1 to work with here. So leave Xcurate on his own. Let that tour de force cover the flanks. See if you can take control of rubble.
Trent forced away for a brief little moment, but the showstopper comes out, and that just forces them all back. More time and space bought here by G2.
30 seconds left.
Rocket just going to be sent. Nothing found there, but now it looks like T1 being forced to commit into this C site, and there is so much util waiting for them. No, tap onto the door. Now they cut back over into B. Turret at the ready, but Trent, Icy, both nearby. One turret comes up with one, but Xcurate finds Icy. Valen going to be taking down the plant now. Started, but interrupted
left
for a brief little moment. Leaf noted a back sight. He gets shoved back, finds the headshot though. Taking down Isu, the plant comes in. Carpe looking to try to take some space, works his way up in towards upper, but he's been spotted.
Last player standing.
And Xcurate, as he falls, it's now all on Carpe. We've seen him pull off miracles with Sheriffs in the past, but he's tagged up, and Leaf just swings out a little bit wider for the challenge. A 4K for him. in 7 rounds now for G2.
And now might be the time that we see T1 take a timeout, try to rethink some of their ideas. G2 is doing a phenomenal job mirroring every angle that T1 wants to take, and they're doing a good job playing together. We're starting to see some of that coordination. Leaf is coming online again with that firepower. Need to slow things down a little bit here as T1 in terms of the players being hot on G2. Maybe you could turn up the pace, I'd be fine with that, because that round was rather slow as far as this match has, gone.
Yeah. I have a player that's got the Nightfall as well as the Pit. They get into a post-plant position. Granted, Leaf does have that lockdown to try to flush them out of a pit.
This looks like a fast hit to me. You got the Nightfall, you got a Showstopper. Let it rip.
Quick blast pack across. Saya tap onto the door. Looks like he's not going to be interested in the orb quite just yet. Prowler will reveal at least one player as there's the Paranoia forcing away Jonah P. Way over in towards backside, but he's going to be blinded up again as the Prowler just managed to chase. Push up here into the side, but as they're vulnerable, as they're decayed, they end up falling. Another 2-piece here for the Viper of G2. Just like that, only 2 players left remaining for T1. Alarm bot up into the smoke. Xcurate not ready for the angle at all, and this round is completely and utterly a wash for T1. Paranoia hits on a Rossi. He's been spotted. He'll get taken down. It is a flawless as G2 continue to step their way closer and closer to tying things up.
Yeah, G2's just doing a wonderful job absorbing all this pressure. Jonah P also able to dodge that seize. And that alarm bot makes it all the easier. Xcurate trying to step outside of it. Yeah, just play back. Give him a little bit of space. I'm a little bit surprised here that T1 didn't pull the trigger on the Nightfall potentially after they took tree control. Thought that might be a good opportunity to at least guarantee yourself that site, guarantee yourself that plant, get into the Viper's pit, and then go from there. But instead, they tried to just brute force their way through with their guns, and G2's been really good in those situations here as we've gone over to their defender side of Lotus.
Paint Shell's going to be committed here onto the forward corner just to try to get rid of some of that KJ util, but as we can see, it's all been positioned over towards A. That connector, the turret set up.
Bring them down.
Power out of the C door. T1 just hunting, looking to see if they can spot anything, if they can catch any mistakes being made.
Just really, once again, Xcurate looking for those opening picks with that headhunter. Clears the trademark, at least lets him know that there is a player in there, setting up everybody for T1 for this push. But like you mentioned earlier, Achilleos, everything in the kitchen sink for the Killjoy utility is here.
Showstopper at the ready. There's a push up again. Jonah P playing off that orb, playing off that decay damage. Leaf finds himself 2 kills.
One enemy remaining.
As Leaf will get himself a 3rd. Carpe does put him down with the Guardian, has to clear it out, but can't stabilize the aim there for Valen. Another solid round here. G2 just 1 step away, 1 round away from tying this up at 10-10.
They're just doing a phenomenal job of avoiding any utility. If they do get clipped by utility, there's fallback plans, there's players to cover them. It's just phenomenal stuff right now from G2. And with how much pressure was on them coming out of that first half, after that blowout on Icebox, to be able to stand tall, 6 rounds to 1 right now in this half, absolutely nuts. But this is where it kind of has to change for T1 if they're going to stabilize. You have that Nightfall still, you have that Viper's Pit still. You've got to find opportunities to use those in conjunction to get to a plant, to get to a post plant, and find yourself a round. Otherwise, it is going to be all tied up. You still have that lockdown to consider as well. That's a real problem with that util combo. If you put that Viper's Pit down and the lockdown comes through to clear it, it can get pretty tricky for T1.
It's coming out, suspecting that maybe somebody's going to be forward, so smoke comes in. But off those sight lines, as it looks like T1 getting ready to crunch their way into this B site. Actually make Trent's job a little bit more difficult as he is going to be blinded up, but he's just blind sprayed to take down Saya. Xcurate just turned back, catches Jonah P, but there's the lockdown now invested here at upper. Plant comes in, but they have to respect this, they have to back away. Nightfall potentially here. But Paint Shells will go ahead and buy some spaces. Yep, Nightfall will come across, but they're stuck in onto this defuse. Haunt now coming through. He's just holding it, but there's the cleanup. Carpe, snappy, gets himself 2 kills. Valorant now, last one standing, the jump out of the smoke. Execute plays distraction as Carpe collects the kill. T1 will finally break this win streak of G2s. They separate themselves just a little bit more, but still, if nothing else, we have seen the perseverance from G2 on this map. T1, they are far from out of the woods.
No doubt about it. I mean, this is finally T1 able to get enough space to set up this B crunch, and still it almost gets shut down by Trent. And I mean, it was on a nice edge there for a moment, but that haunt timing was perfect from Carpe. The shooting phenomenal as well, but it ain't comfortable at all for T1. Yeah, you still have that Viper's Pit because Rossi got taken down pretty early in the round, but pace of the game is slowed up, and I think that's working in G2's favor a little bit. They're just being so cagey, and Xcurate can't win his battle out on the edge.
Only a smattering of damage found there on that spray from Carpe, but now looking for the take here on to B. Paint Shells to try to create some space. That C-linked. Omen TP around the back. Izu. Leaf is reading this absolutely flawlessly, but it's going to be Leaf who starts eating some damage. Sai going to be taken down in the meantime. Trent able to find Rossi. Izu finds that kill, but now he has so much more work to do. 2 players left, just he and Carpe versus 4. The pit.
Oh, what a play.
Oh, Carpe was just going to lurk over here into the side, able to find those 2 quick taps. Izu, can he make it happen? Some shots there, into the shoulder, stabilizes, but he needs a headshot, he needs a 1-tap, and he's not gonna find it. Jonah will be the last one standing here for G2. Oh, okay. Jonah Maui really feels as he goes back over to the defuse. Once again, 1 round separating. 11-10, T1 still in a decent position as they are gonna be calling their second timeout.
And this is a really interesting decision from the side of T1 in terms of, throwing down the Viper's Pit, sending Izu with that TP into the back of C, but it doesn't really pay off. It's read extremely well, even though Izu somehow almost wins it, trying to keep him pinned, but Izu's able to find just enough timing to sneak around the corner back towards the spike. Still hasn't been translating to round wins. Looking like, once again, we're gonna be setting up the G2 Killjoy utility over onto A. The turret still in that same spot by Baby Door. A little bit further forward with this Nano at the tree door. Trying to play off a contact a little bit there is Leaf, who has been also just absolutely explosive here in the second half.
Very quiet, very pulled back here from G2. T1. They just scale their way up, but I mean, look at this approach. It's a massive push through stairs. Try to see if they can get any kind of catch here. As Carpe at least will try to distract and keep attention over towards that door.
Oh my God.
Wrap around, swing out. Shots coming Balin's way. He is not ready for it. You can't really blame him, but Leaf, what is that? 2 quick kills. Paranoia is going to be good. Shot found. Izu able to come up with that elimination, but Sion player gets the jump on Icy. Takes him down. Trent in the meantime does manage to backstab. Gets the kill. Carpe on the floor. 2 players left, 40 seconds to try to play with. So T1 very much is going to be ending up here on this B site. Jonah P just listening, hearing, lurking within the smoke. How does he decide to play this one out? Well, this is going to be like that. He'll just work his way forward. This man is not having it. More spray, another defuse, and now a tied up game at 11-11.
T1 digging deep into the strategy book here, going for the long lurk. And G2 is certainly fired up and feeling it. And it almost works, but if it isn't for this guy, Leaf, who's just been a nightmare at times on that Sentinel role. And then Jonah P just knew it. They went over to B, he's like, I'm just gonna wait for the plant. And then I step in and they are not gonna be ready at all. They are not gonna read this position. And I can just take care of business. Trent was coming on the rotation as well, but didn't need him. Absolutely brilliant from G2. They are just playing so aware right now.
It's a much needed round win because not only does it tie up the game, but it also allows them to avoid what would have been very close to a thrifty. Things were
That's
very
true.
wishy-washy for them there. Just given, honestly, a very good call from T1 to go on that huge push through stairs. But now they have full firepower.
Think about this. If T1 doesn't win this round, their economy's in the gutter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a must-do almost for T1 at this point.
G2, they have a lot of good tools nearly there. That showstopper still just one away for Icy. Nightfall's available here on both sides. Xcurate again, looking to go his way forward. Himself tucked away for now, and has that trademark set up inside a tree as well.
Once again, try this A hit, it looks like, but it's been tricky for them to even get a plant down over here because of how good G2's positioning and gunplay is. There's that earlier Nightfall. I like that to clear the space. Only catching a couple players from G2, but they're pivoting over towards B.
Base taken. Here's that bot. Saya knowing that Leaf is going to be somewhere nearby. Want to just go ahead and check close as Carpe goes in for the plant. But that answering Nightfall, as you said, Trent, he was able to hold on to it. Has that for the retake. See when he decides to send that. As it now goes crashing across. Several players going to be caught by that one. Icy on the entry, able to find Saya, but then gets taken down. Carpe finding two. Looks for a little bit more. Can't quite make it happen, but it's going to be Isu. Mowing down the last few. T1 get themselves now up to match point. 12-11, but G2, they have been battling back every time they have a disadvantage. Can they take this to overtime?
I believe. I definitely believe with the way they've been playing in this half, but what I like here is the minor adjustment from T1 with that Nightfall in play. Instead of saving it until they get to a site, they use it to clear space, give them the ability to pivot, put themselves into a post plan, and Xcurate is fired up.
All of them. Saya yelling into his monitor as if his former teammates on the opposite side could hear him. Showstopper there now for Icy, got that on the depth. Tour de force. He's gonna be able to note that chamber here on this A side of the map. He pulls back away and is also gonna be holding on to that spike. So should the C site get taken, he's gonna be a little bit slow to get himself in there for the plant.
Cautious of the showstopper, RT1. They want to make sure that they don't give anything over for free there. So we're going to use that paint shells to clear space to give Saya his. Yeah.
But yep, Showstopper is now online. But the alarm bot, that other nano, still standing there on C. Trent, for now, left alone here on A in a very committed position.
See this staggered pullback from G2 where they're so cautious of utility. They see it, they fall back. They're trying to get info. They're trying to give themselves the best opportunity to rotate when they want to dictate the pace of this game in their favor. Still have to be so concerned about these showstoppers for both sides. That's why they're being overly cautious, also with the pressure of that score line.
They purposely let that Haunt get the reveal there onto Xcurate. Because he has been lingering, he has been lurking. Xcurate now pushing forward, gets the opening shot. Trent gonna be taken down. Showstopper not able to find anything, but the plant's gonna be coming through. The man advantage is there for T1 in this 5v4 post-plant. Icy, that Showstopper, it needs to deliver. Valorant drop. Boombot the try. The spot, he drops down, and he turns back around. He is able to find it. He ends up pulling on the back end as Rossi finds that kill. Shots across Leaf, down to 3 HP. Swing out from Rossi, he ends up falling. As now, it is all on Carpe, and he cannot make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Master Shanghai, and welcome to overtime.
This is exactly what we wanted to see from these two teams. Both have been so good at Lotus. It has been such a favored map for them throughout this stage. We wouldn't have it any other way. We go right into overtime. A little bit of an overswing, I think, from Rossi. I think got a little bit overconfident there. Went for an angle that was a little bit tough after doing so much damage. Tried to see if he could catch him a little bit off guard after he had lit up Leaf towards rope. But G2 so aware, so ready for it, and with both teams so good on their defender side. Who is going to be able to get that attacker side win first? Will that be that deciding factor, considering they were both 9-3 on their defenders?
Glass cannon here for Xcurate. Operator back in hand, gets himself boosted up here on top of the box. Very short TP over to the left for him. As the Haunt does get cleared.
So much attention here at Rubble. Saya trying to take positioning.
Taking an immense amount of space, but That's now just leaving Rossi all on his lonesome. Weapon comes out. Here's the Prowler. Takes some shots. Paranoia looking to help force him back. Backs his way away. Paint shells now being sent. His own bite going to be coming through for the entry. Has already begun, but he's still able to find the first shot. Jonah P going to be taken down. Looks for a little bit more. Ben not going to be taken. Icy having the drop down off the box side. In the meantime, though, able to find that shot. Does take him down. Finds himself a second, but Leaf answers back. Leaf finding three. And now it's all unexecute. The man's not even on the site. Now there's a lockdown in play. He just has the operator. A single headshot on that headhunter. That's all he can really hope for, unless he can get himself into the site and recover one of these weapons. They're in an advantageous position for him to go ahead and recover one, but he doesn't want to make any noise. Sees one. That's going to be Leaf taken down as he draws out the headhunter. Valorant swings in. The lead is there. It is G2's as they are now at match point. And a timeout call is going to be coming through for T1. Needing to get this reset.
And what a gutsy play call here from G2. Just say, all right, we're going to death ball it towards C. Little bit of congestion towards A, but T1 just a little bit slow. This is a great understanding of the way that T1 was playing their defense.
Right now, get that 14-12. No riskiness from them, no glass cannon, no operator. Just looking to play a very straight up round.
Looking to take their time a little bit. Another early push out towards the rock from Xcurate. They're going to get the ping, the identification of Valen's position. They use that orb early to cross, take rubble control. But this is all just trying to set up and try to show that they're going for more of an A hit. Really clear the turret. Carpe just taking a scrape of damage on the way out.
Backs away. Leaf wanted to get that punish there. Trying to get rid of that util, but Icy, again, lurking behind this box. Hasn't really gone scouted. As he's played this time and time again. He gets the catch, that's now the IGL. Dead on the side of T1. A 45 conversion necessary for them to reset, to extend this overtime. That is a very solid first step for G2 to close things out.
I don't know if they're going to be thinking that T1 is this far pushed up.
Allen just looking at the jiggle on the angle. Considering if he wants to TP back with the rest of his team, and he does so. Paranoia at the ready, sends that, and that's going to force them packing, but no, he's overstayed. Icy, it's cleaned up three! And just in the blink of an eye, they will all get mowed down. The flood of G2